So moving on to the first scheme that I'm just going to discuss quickly for you, the video games tax relief claim (VGTR). I'll keep saying VGTR rather than me saying the long version, so you don't get bored of that. How it works is, so developers can claim 80% of core expenditure and EA spend, so the lower of those two. So EA spend is the European Economic Area, so that's the old scheme, and it was eventually we were part of the EU when we set this scheme up, so it still applies to EA spend. What they give you is a 25% tax credit. So it works out a net overall, once you've taken the adjustments and calculations, result of 20% net return on your cost and investment there. So essentially 20% of your cost base is returns for you. So it's quite a significant sum that can be repaid from HMRC. Non-EEA spend, so anyone outside the European Economic Area or outside the UK, won't be eligible for the additional deduction. So essentially, even though it might be cost related to the game, if it's not included in the UK or EEA, it wouldn't be eligible for this enhancement and therefore wouldn't get this tax credit from that. So it's quite a big factor if you're working with a number of contractors based outside the UK, and you're eligible to use this scheme. You will have to, if you've got a choice between the two, even though a US based or someone else, Singapore based, whatever it is, might be slightly cheaper, if factoring your European contractor would mean that you'd be able to get 20% result back from it, it might change your mind about who you use and things like that. What they do have on the scheme is so if you do use contractors, you'll have £1 million subcontractor cap. That's per game, and that's over the lifetime of the game. So if you're developing a console game, they can often take a number of years to develop, especially if you're one which you'll release and constantly developing afterwards. You will have a contractor cap of £1 million, which for many studios, there only might be smaller budgets anyway, so you won't have to worry about getting close to that. But if you grow the business and start, if you're in the process of doing a bigger claim, you might be influenced by the £1 million cap if you get there. We've got here too. So yeah, I mentioned the subcontractor cap. So sort of might be relevant, but not so much relevant now because, as I say, this is the old scheme, and as I've got there on my slide, it's only available if production has commenced prior to 31st of March 2025. So obviously we're past that date. So this scheme is only going to be relevant for those who are already started production before 31st of March. If you're looking to start a brand new company and brand new game, this scheme that I'm talking about here won't actually be available to you. But if you have started production before 31st of March, you do have the option of using this scheme or the VGTR scheme, which I'll talk about after this. And overall, the scheme will finish completely for everyone up until March 2027. So we've got a couple more years where you can make use of this scheme. And it might be useful if you've got plenty of UK and EEA spend to use this scheme as much as you can. It's very much weighing up between which scheme is going to offer the best return for you, which one you use. And so it's available at the moment until 2027, when everyone will come off it and go into the new VGTR scheme.